Hey everyone, what's going on? Today in the mainstream media, one of the biggest stories was of the Attorney General Jeff Sessions either being fired or earlier in the day they said that he resigned, and then later they said that Donald Trump had fired him. And if you're new to what I talk about on this channel, I talk about how every single day our mainstream media is coded with this ancient knowledge system called gematria, which is the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases. And this story is absolutely no different. If you're new, just check out some links in the description. You can learn how to apply this. It's very, very simple. If you can do basic math and you can spell, you can understand this system that's been literally used our whole lives, and it's right in front of us. And if you don't understand this system, you're never going to understand the ultimate meaning behind these stories and what is truly going on. So, please learn to apply this. Along with this, they code things with themes all of the time, such as why LeBron James, his nickname is King James, and he's famous for being a Cleveland Cavalier, right? And he won the NBA Finals for the Cavaliers on the anniversary of the real King James's birthday in history. And a Cavalier just so happens to be a follower of King Charles, who was the king during the English Civil War, who was King James's son. So they love to use themes such as that. And the reason I bring that up is because of the guy who was replacing Jeff Sessions as the acting attorney general is Matt Whitaker. And his birthday just so happens to be October 29th. And if you know history, that's an important day in regards to the stock market crash that happened in the year 1929 on the 29th day when Herbert Hoover was the president. Iowa is the 29th state. He's the only president that was ever from Iowa. You know, the only president from Iowa, the 29th state. He is the one who was in office when we get the stock market crash on the 29th day of the year 1929. It was also the year in Iowa that Kinnick Stadium was built, where the Iowa Hawkeyes play. This guy, a former Iowa Hawkeye player, he's from Iowa. So part of the riddle is all about the stock market and Donald Trump. But anyway, let's look at this here. So Jeff Sessions, if you go to his birthday, you find out his birthday is December 24th. And if you go from the day that he got fired or resigned, he just so happened to resign 47 days before his birthday, right? 47 days. Also, 1 month and 17 days, a lot like the date. 11/7, 117. But look, 47 days before his birthday. In gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words and phrases, Jeff Sessions just so happens to equal 47. I'll type it out for you here. Jeff Sessions equals 47. And the way you get to this is J is the 10th letter, so it becomes 1 plus 0 is 1. E the 5th letter, F the 6th, F the 6th. S the 19th letter, so 1 plus 9 becomes 10, 1 plus 0 becomes 1, and so on. Hopefully that makes sense, but you can check out some links in the description. This is called Pythagorean gematria, and, think about Pythagoras and mathematics and everything else. But his name equals 47. He resigns 47 days before his birthday. Supposedly got fired by Trump as well. Trump equals 47. Notice the word president equals 47. Democrat equals 47. I bet you can't guess what Republican equals. Republican 47. DC equals 47. Much of our history, our nation's independence is either 7-4 or also 4/7, depending on what part of the world you live in. And, it all goes back to Freemasonry. Think about George Washington, the 33rd degree Freemason who became the first president and everything else, right? And Freemasonry, if you look up the Freemason square and compass, it's set at 47 degrees, and the top of it is even what is called the pole star that equals 47. And it is a tribute to Euclid, the father of geometry, his 47th problem about the foundation of a perfect square. And the word foundation also equals 47 in gematria. It's also, 211 is the 47th prime number. That's why we're told that George Washington's birthday on the Julian calendar is 211 because it's the 47th prime number. There's many, many other connections to the number 47 that is really important throughout history. So now we get, Jeff Sessions, who equals 47, resigning 47 days before his birthday, Trump 47, President 47. Notice too, if you go from Donald Trump's birthday to this day, it's 146 days. And did you notice that Jeff Sessions also equals 146? How perfect, 146, 47 syncs up to his birthday and Donald Trump's birthday. Donald Trump's birthday, 14/6 even in other parts of the world, a lot like 146. It also just happens to be Flag Day. And think about Donald Trump calling out the NFL and whatnot about not standing during the national anthem. All of that is synced back up to what I was talking about with the stock market crash. Last year, the Super Bowl was played at US Bank Stadium. That equals 88 in gematria. And think about all this stuff that was going on. The word Neil equals 88. If you read out Colin Kaepernick equals 88. The Star Spangled Banner equals 88. And think about where the Super Bowl was played. US Bank Stadium. Last year was the 88th anniversary of the stock market crash. Herbert Hoover was the president. H is the 8th letter. A lot like an 88. That's why we got that Charlottesville, whatever it was, the Nazi rally, right? The Nazis, neo-Nazis get a tattoo of the number 88 on them and tribute to Hitler. Heil Hitler, HH. That's why the only person to die in that rally was Heather Heyer, HH. This big number. That's why Henry Ford was a Jew hater, and the Germans looked up to Henry Ford and whatnot, and Ford Motor Company equals 211, like the 47th prime. And Henry Ford supposedly died on 4/7 of the year 47. Go figure, Lots of other things. Mein Kampf equals 88. It came out, 8 years, 8 months, and 8 days or something like that before in Germany it came out, and then it came out 8 years, 8 months, 8 days later in the United States or something like that. Can't even remember it all the way. I had to go back and look, but I know there was a bunch of 88 stuff with it. But I bring all that back up because, the stock market crash, Herbert Hoover, look at Donald Trump in gematria. Donald Trump equals 159, and look at Herbert Hoover. Herbert Hoover, 159, even 614, like Donald Trump's birthday, that is Flag Day. That's why last year, the day after the Super Bowl, the major headline in the news was Market Meltdown, because it was all connected to the stock market crash. Look at stock market in satanic gematria, 521, and who won the Super Bowl? Philadelphia. Philadelphia equals 521 in satanic gematria. And, I talked about Philadelphia for months, the months leading up to the Super Bowl, even because of this earthquake, a 4.1 earthquake that was felt in Philadelphia in November. And it's something that I've been following since 2015. And then what happened? The Philadelphia Eagles went on to win the Super Bowl, and they scored 41 points. And notice what Super Bowl equals in gematria. Super Bowl equals 41. So there's all of these interrelated things. I even talked about why it was important to bridge collapses, because the Super Bowl was played in Minneapolis. That had the famous bridge collapse that happened on 8/1, and it fell 81 feet, and the main trusses were 81 meters long. And supposedly it took 81 minutes to transport everyone to the hospital. And August 1st, just so happened to be Francis Scott Key, the guy who wrote the national anthem. Just so happens to be his birthday, 8/1. So it's a big important number to the Pope. And the word pontiff means bridge builder. He's currently 81 years old. He turned 81 years old 81 days after the Jesuit anniversary. He's the first Jesuit Pope. In Hebrew lettering, the word Pope even equals 81. So it's this important thing that I was talking about. Then what happened? In March, on the Ides of March, on March 15th, we got the FIU bridge collapse. And then later in August, we got the Italian bridge collapse. Think about the Pope in Italy. And they're all synced up to San Francisco, but I'm going to skip over that. You can check out some other things. But look at this guy's name here, Matt Whitaker. So he's born on the anniversary of the stock market crash. He's from Iowa, even played for the Iowa Hawkeyes, and his name in gematria just so happens to equal the, almost identical to Donald Trump in all four of these ciphers here. Look, Matthew Whitaker equals 68, 185, and 220. And, look at Donald John Trump here. 68, 185, and 220. What are the odds, And look what stock market crash equals. Stock market crash, 185, just like Donald John Trump, just like Matthew Whitaker. Also, would you believe that in regards to that 220 number, Donald John Trump 220, Matthew Whitaker 220, if you go from today's date to Donald Trump's next birthday, would you believe it's 220 days? So this comes 220 days before Donald Trump's next birthday. And, that's what his name equals. It's just ridiculous. Also, I know that it's connected to Herbert Hoover. And well, just look at this. Herbert Hoover, right now we're currently in the 89th anniversary of the stock market crash. And today just so happens to fall 89 days after the day that Herbert Hoover was born. And now we're in the 89th anniversary of the stock market crash. And then we get this guy to replace him that's from Iowa. And also today we got a story about the stock market. So what are the odds of that, It went up, but once again, they're showing us this theme of the stock market crash, right? Stock market, Donald Trump, the richest president, synced up to Herbert Hoover. The reason Iowa is so important, too, is because if you write out Iowa equals 48, and that's also this big number that is important to Donald Trump. Donald Trump equals 48, the guy who wanted to build the wall. Wall equals 48. He wins the anniversary of the Berlin Wall coming down. And the Mexican-American War began came to an end in the year 1848. Mike Pence became the 48th vice president, and Trump was elected president just after the Cleveland Indians lost in the World Series to the Cubs. And Cleveland equals 48. The last time they won the World Series was the year 48. Then we got that closest supermoon on Prince Charles's birthday in 2016. And Prince Charles was born in the year 48. It's all synced up. It's synced up to Israel. The Jews identify with the moon. Israel declared its independence in the year 48. Tons of other things, The president in the year 48 was also Harry S. Truman. Harry S. Truman, the president during the Korean War. Notice Harry S. Truman, 148. Look what Donald J. Trump equals. 148. The opposite of Harry S. Truman, right? Then Donald Trump goes and meets with Kim Jong-un, all by the numbers as well. Harry S. Truman also won the biggest election upset since the year 1948. when he beat Thomas E. Dewey. And, Donald Trump had the biggest election upset with Hillary Clinton and whatnot. Just so that big number 48 is really important to Donald Trump. And Iowa just so happens to equal 48. It's synced up to Herbert Hoover in the year 1829 of the stock market crash. That's why Iowa even has Interstate 29 that goes all the way through it from north to south and whatnot. So we'll leave it there. There was some other things I was going to talk about, but I've talked about them a billion times, such as like all the stuff with Donald Trump and Herbert Hoover and how it's connected to the stock market. That's why in 2017 we got the death of this guy from Home Alone, even John Hurd. His name equals 88 in Gematria, just like Trump, and we were in the 88th anniversary of the stock market crash. Or we were heading into the 88th, but right around the same time we got the death of Chester Bennington, was the day before, and he's from the Lincoln Park. And think about it, Lincoln Park, that's where the St. Valentine's Day Massacre happened in 1929, the same year as the stock market crash. And then what did we get this year? The Stoneman Douglas St. Valentine's Day Massacre on the 89th, or 89 years later. That's why I wonder about the stock market crash. And this coming 89 days after Herbert Hoover's birthday and being in the 89th anniversary, so. Home Alone 2, if you go watch that movie, they talk about, he says, Herbert Hoover once stayed at this hotel. And then just a few minutes later, Donald Trump walks by him and stares at him or whatever. So it's important. They're syncing up Donald Trump with Herbert Hoover. But anyway, I just wanted to make a quick video. Hopefully I'll be able to make more videos. I say that all the time, but just so many bad things have been going on lately. I had to get a new computer, and it's still not even working right. I don't even understand. I can't get my webcam to work. All kinds of stuff going on. So hopefully I'll get it here. I started a different Facebook too. I just made a completely different Facebook under my name. So I'm gonna start posting on the Facebook and whatnot. Instead of doing that stupid Facebook page, I just created a whole different Facebook. Try to get something going on Facebook. I feel like it's easier to share with Facebook, and a lot of people who don't understand this or have no idea about it, they'll look at it on Facebook versus looking at it on YouTube, it seems like. So try something new, but well, like I said, I'm done. There's a billion things I could talk about, but I got to work in a little bit and got to get some sleep. So have a good one. Learn to apply this for yourself. Peace.